is the void. We are the blade. I am the void.
Hello, this is CecilSunkure's, and we're going to go ahead and talk about using Fkeys for safe screen position and control groups, both of which are a part of having awesome mechanics in order to play with efficient actions per minute, also known as APM. So, first thing I want to go over is how to set up your hotkeys so that you can use your actions per minute efficiently in order to save your screen position and jump to it whenever you want. For example, here I have a nexus here and a nexus here, and I want both of these nexuses to have screen position saved over them so I can jump to them whenever I need to. On this nexus I have it hotkeyed as F2, this one's F3. So now I can jump between these two as fast as I can push the buttons, and it won't even mess with my selection. So I can actually order my stalkers to go to either base really fast. Say there's Hellions here, and then I realize there's Hellions here, anything. It's super useful to have. I could perhaps have my army out in the open. And I'll go ahead and move it out there real fast. And I'll show you one super extremely useful use out of the many of having save screen position over two nexuses real quick, and then I'll show you how to do them real fast. So say you have your army out here and you realize there's a drop in your main. You hit your hotkey for your army and order them to move here, and then you can shift click out half of your army and quickly order the rest of it to go here if you're expecting another drop to say come in this direction. So now I would just split up my army super fast into both of those locations, and I can actually go ahead and do it again real quick to show you before my army even gets to back to the middle of the map. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and real quickly show you how to set these hotkeys up. You hit F10 when you're in game, click on the hotkeys screen, and go ahead and click on this global tab and hit expand all. Scroll down a little bit. You'll see these buttons for create location and jump to location. For create location 1, 2, 3, and 4, I changed it from Control Shift to just Control F key. So Control F1 is set a location to F1, same with F2, F3, and F4. Then I changed jump to location to just simply be F1, F2, F3, and F4. So now I can create 4 unique locations, just like so. F2, F3, and F4. And I can jump between the 4 really fast, which is extremely useful, especially in that my selection right here is staying the same. And now I'm ordering these units to go all over the place. So that's how you set one up. I recommend setting one up at your main nexus, your natural nexus, and I like to have my main nexus as F2 and my natural nexus as F3. This goes for any race. You're going to want your main command center, main hatchery, hive, and your natural. You just want those 2 locations, your main and your natural, because those are extremely common locations to use. And then I recommend using F4 on wherever your third is, so you can jump between your 3 bases, your main, your natural, and your third extremely fast. And you can see on the minimap here how fast you can jump between the 3. It's just super ridiculous. And then F1 is used differently for the different races. For Protoss, F1 would be over a designated warp in area. So I can very quickly warp in bits of my army. And it'd probably be F1 for your rally point as Terran and your rally point as Zerg. Rallying things out here, fighting with your army, you want to grab things from your rally point, go ahead and do that, double tap the hotkey for your army, and you jump back that fast. Now, the F keys to the different bases of these 3 bases is also extremely useful throughout the entire game, not only for ordering units, but just for general macro. Say I need to go back to my main and larva inject, then go to my natural, and larva inject, then go to my third and larva inject. You can use F keys to do larva injects from your first 3 bases, or more if you set up the the F key hotkeys for more safe screen positions. I only use 4. And you can actually improve and practice your mechanics with just larva injecting. I actually do this myself to help myself get used to using those F keys. You can also use it for general macro, say ordering blink like I just did. I'll show you how fast I can do that again. Say I'm doing whatever, I'm attacking something, enemy units show up, and then I want to order blink and go back to my army. But it's that fast, and it also chrono boosted blink. Same thing here, I can go ahead and place a couple gateways down and jump back to my army that fast. Do the same at my 3rd, except there's nothing at my 3rd right now, so go ahead and put something there. Transferring probes is like the fastest thing ever with the hev keys. You can transfer probes so fast in the event that there's harass going on. And that's the use of the F keys. It'll give you super crisp and extremely fast macro. And it'll also boost your APM by quite a bit, get you used to using your hand in multiple different ways. The next thing I want to go ahead and talk about is recommended control groups for all 3 of the races. As Protoss, I recommend having your Stalkers in one group, which I have on 4, and then your Zealots and Sentries, which are the same movement speed, or at least really similar, on another one. So then you can go ahead and, well, I recommend having 5 for the slower Sentry units. Then you can go ahead and hit 4A, 5A, 6A really quickly, and you can use your ring finger / index finger for the 4A, 5A, 6A, and then you can just hit A. With your pinky, and that's much easier, well, at least for me, than 1A, 2A, 3A, because there's not really a comfortable way to hit A in that scenario. I find it a lot easier to go 4A, 5A, 6A. And as you can see, I hit 4A, 5A really fast. I could actually hit it faster if I weren't recording, because my client lags a little bit.
We stand as one. I am the voice of the eclipse.
And there you go. So I suggest as Protoss having your army on 4, 5, and 6. And for 6 you could put like Colossus down or whatever. 6 could be like Colossus or any other expensive unit. 4 would be the Blink Stalkers, which you commonly use. 5 is the middle units, like Zealot, Sentry, Archon, Immortal, those ones. For Terran, oh, and then I should talk about the rest of them. As number 1 with Protoss, I have all my Nexuses on one hotkey. That way I have one centralized area to use Chrono Boost. Lets you spend Chrono Boost pretty dang easy. And then on number 2, I actually put my, where are they? Robotics facilities. And then for 3, I use as my designated scout. And you can change this up to whatever your liking is, but I like 3 as a scout, oftentimes as a scout probe or an observer. And then 4A, 5A, 6A is just for my army. And then I'll have 7, 8, and 9. I usually don't use 9, so 7 and 8 for work prisms or other miscellaneous items. And now for Zerg, I'd recommend basically the same exact setup, except you don't really have much to use 2 and 3 with. So you'll still use 4, 5, and 6A for your army. But then you have 2 and 3 that you don't really need so much. I would use 3 for scouts, which would be, oh, what are they called? The overseers. But then I don't really have a use for 2 yet. Because Zerg generally doesn't... I guess you could use queens as 2, I suppose. But I haven't really needed to do that in playing Zerg. And then with Terran, you can do something extremely similar. 1 for all your orbital commands, 2 could be barracks, 3 can be factory / starport, and then you can hit tab to go between the 2 different types of buildings. Like say I have warp gates and a robo. in the same hotkey. You can select both of them and hit tab and go between the production capabilities of both. So I can go ahead and order Colossus and then work with 2 Stalkers all with the same hotkey by hitting tab, going between the 2. You could do that with factories and starports if you wanted to. And then you'd have 4A, 5A, 6A for your army, and then 7, 8, 9, 0 if you want to use them for whatever you want. And if you have all of those down, you're going to have splendid mechanics. And you will be playing at Grandmaster level for sure if you have those down. Because assuming you have those down, you'll have decent everything else, decent strategies down and everything. Because it does take quite a bit of time to be able to proficiently use all of these different keys for all those different tasks all at the same time. Let's attack you. Another cool thing about the Fkeys, let's move this over a little bit. The Fkeys being used for your nexuses is it makes chrono boosting your nexuses all pretty easy if you want to chrono boost out a bunch of probes. I did that like in just a moment. Just chrono boosting things in general. General macro is extremely easy with the Fkeys. Cool, now I have a Colossus and I can do the 4A, 5A, 6A. And there you have it. Some tips for having pretty dang good macro. Let's get you going. And some tips for using the Fkeys and control groups. If you found this video useful, please do subscribe because that'll help me get out additional content. And then we'll both benefit from this whole YouTube uploading videos to it thing.